Over the past few years, I played all 4 routes of 3 houses, with the express purpose of beating every final map on the highest difficulty in one turn. During this process, I tried to use as many cool builds and strats as I could, and I even ended up getting one of my favorite units, Ashe, the MVP for each clear. I'll explore this more later, but roughly speaking, the MVP is determined by who gets the most kills. This made for quite the intense experience, and in this video I'd like to show the payoff, demonstrating each clear, and then ranking each by the clear's complexity, the clear's reliability, and the amount of awesome Ashe action. First up, Verdant Wind. Looking past the Lysithea Lunaskip, this clear requires you to set up someone to 1-drown Nemesis, while also defeating all of Nemesis's 10 elites, to break a shield and remove his stat boosts. However, Nemesis is quite tough even without the boosts, and the elites are spread far across this massive map. With 12 deployment slots, Dance of the Goddess refreshing 4 units, and a Dancer refreshing 1 unit twice, this means we have 18 total actions to make the clear work. So that's 11 actions for boss kills, 3 for the dances, and then just 4 actions left for movement boosting. My team for this clear is mostly standard, but I've given a few units a particularly strong setup, with the standout boss killers being Ashe, Caspar, and Claude. Ashe is in his classic sniper build, and while he won't actually be the Nemesis killer, he will need to kill multiple elites for the game to recognize him as the MVP. And for this, having S-bows for bow crit plus 10 will make for a nice reliability boost. My Nemesis killer will actually be War Master Caspar, who I trained to be really strong. He has S plus Brawl for Fistfair, and I've given him 11 extra points of strength over his level 40 average. I also trained Barbarossa Claude to be really strong, with Bowfair, and taking a couple strength stat boosters as well. And as will be the case for every route, most of my boss killers have their fair share of dex and luck boosters for the extra hits and crits. Alright, now let's get to Ashe's first 1 turn, and turn this undead army back to Ashe.
Nemesis is here.
A swamp, huh?
He should not have done that.
Looks like we better not get near that swamp. Try to avoid it during the fight.
Starting us off, Marianne uses Stride, giving +5 move to most of our army. It doesn't reach Sylvain, but he can still reach the Dark Knight bladed. They're 5 tiles away, with 2 of the tiles being forests, so War Master Sylvain can reach with a 6 move and the movement +1 skill, and defeat them with a Killer Axe crit.
Whatever it takes. Huh? I think they've got some sort of magical link with Nemesis.
Could the magic be protecting him?
Not sure, but we'd better take out his 10 commanders before taking him on. 9 more commanders remaining. We just killed number 10. These can't be the 10 elites, can they? Nah, not likely.
Then I set up Bow Knight Ignatz to reach the Bishop Gloucester, getting moved forward by Flayn and dismounting to not be impeded by the swamp. Flayn has rescue, but even just a simple reposition works with my approach. Gloucester is one of the few elites with a relic that gives Aegis and Pavice for a dex chance to have damage, but this doesn't matter to Ignatz. With bow range +2, he can reach at 4 range with the Brave Bow, keeping high hit thanks to his personal, and quadding for enough damage to kill even if Gloucester were to proc Aegis all 4 times.
I can do this.
As for the Holy Knight Daphnel, any unit with high speed or swift strikes can take them out with a high might cavalry effective Spear of Assault. For the style points though, I have Falcon Knight Leone Oko with their strong lance jab combat darts.
I'll keep pushing myself.
Leone is the first to get in position for my eventual Dance of the Goddess, next followed by Wyvern Lord Petra, after she repositions Ashe over a rock and past all forest terrain. With that, he can reach the Mortal Savant Karen, and 1 drowned with Hunter's Volley. I've given Ashe the Edmund Troops Battalion for +40 hits to keep near perfect hit at 4 range, and with 54 crit, he has around a 79% chance to get at least 1 of 2 crits for the kill.
In the name of justice.
Next I have Lorenz dance for Ashe, reaching with a March Ring and Movement +1.
Much appreciated.
Now Ashe can move on to defeat the Falcon Knight Feldarius. For this kill, I switch Ashe to the High Might Parthia, again using Hunter's Volley to double at 4 range. She has the Aegis shield for Aegis, but she'd have to proc it twice to avoid dying, and if Ashe crits, he can Oko even through Aegis, leaving him with over a 95% chance of success. With Ashe out of the way, Claude can take his place in the Dance of the Goddess formation after defeating the War Master Goneril. They're pretty bulky and fast, but with Claude's extra strength investment and Hilda's special damage boosting supports, he's able to one round with the Inexhaustible's Brave effects. And now we're all set for a Dance of the Goddess quadruple refresh, hitting Leonie, Claude, Petra, and Lorenz. I have this gambit on Byleth, who can reach because Grappler's Thief movement makes him unimpeded by the forests. Alright, these 4 revitalized actions can immediately go to the last 4 elite kills, starting with the Wyvern Lord Dominic. With Failnaugh's Wind God combo darts, Claude can reach at 4 range, and with Flyer effectivity he easily one-shots. Now, Claude could Canto South to get Dance, but if he gets another kill, he'll steal the MVP spotlights. So I instead just move on to Petra, who can crush the Great Knight Gautier with the armor-effective Axe of Ukunvasara. Like Leonie, I have her Oko to avoid a counterattack and for style points, making use of the Diamond Axe combo darts and the +3 damage from Claude's Charm.
For Bridget, I find strength to carry on.
Now Lorenz can dance for Petra, even if he had traded away his March Ring earlier.
Appreciate.
Then Petra can smite down the wicked Gremory Lamine. She's the last elite with a relic that provides Aegis and Pavice, but I have Petra switch the Brave Axe to Quad, so she's all but guaranteed to kill.
Whoa, the swamp lane vanished.
The last elite kill goes to Leonie, reaching the Bow Knight Regan while also being able to trade equip Ashe the 3-range Magic Bow Plus to provide a linked attack against Nemesis. Once again, effective weaponry clears the damage threshold when doubling, but Leonie can still Oko with the Lance Jab.
Professor, Claude, all the subordinates to Nemesis have been eliminated.
It took some doing, but now's our chance to face off against Nemesis.
That's all the elites gone, so Caspar is all clear to fight Nemesis after a warp from Lysithea.
Make this quick.
My Lysithea has a ton of magic from being a Vantage Sweeper, but all she needs is her level 40 average of 42. So with Magic +2 and Meals, she reaches a 12-range warp. Like Ashe's first kill, I'm having Caspar use a combo dart to double, and rely on just one of 2 crits to kill. With Bombard, he gets well over 60 crit for each strike, and his personal skill, Born Fighter, cuts through 10 of Nemesis's Avoid. So with Ashe by his side to provide a linked attack, I'm able to get Caspar near perfect hits, giving Caspar a success rate just below 90%.
Feeble creature, prepare to die!
The results speak for themselves.
Overall, I'm going to give this clear a full 5 stars for complexity, 4 stars for reliability, and another 4 stars for Ashe action. Getting all 11 boss kills, while needing some very expansive movements, made for quite the big project, but I'll say this also made the clear feel incredibly rewarding to complete. For as solid as Ashe's kills were though, getting an MVP was a total coincidence here, and it wouldn't be until my next run that I started intentionally setting up Ashe as my number 1 unit. Or perhaps I should clarify, for the game to see him as my number 1 unit, which played out very interestingly in Silver Snow. In stark contrast to Verdant Wind, this endgame features just one boss, and Rhea starts incredibly close. She makes up for this though by having 4 health bars, a ton of HP, and the Draco Skin ability to halve damage. This version of Rhea also gets the Miracle skill, which ends up giving her a 51% chance to survive lethal damage if above 1 HP. As such, we'll need a lot of firepower, which I've gathered into 3 strong combat units. My team for this run was focused on using the faculty and just a few out-of-house recruits. Wyvern Lord Happy is my main attacker, with her personal skill, Monstrous Appeal, giving double weapon effectivity against Rhea. I've given her a whole 12 points of strength over her average to reach her cap of 45, and she has a few extra points of speed to counteract the Sarrow Shield's weight. I also have Wyvern Lord Sedith. He has Lancefare, and with speed plus 2, all he needs is a few extra points of speed. My last main boss killer is Catherine, who I've kept in her iconic Swordmaster setup. She's actually several points of strength under average, but a simple death blow, or in my case, Swordfare, makes up for it. You might be wondering, what about Ashe? Well, like Verdant Wind, I didn't plan this clear around Ashe, and I actually hadn't used him at all this playthrough. However, when I considered that even dealing 1 damage to Rhea is valuable, and figured out a bit more info about how Three Houses chooses its MVP, I knew I had to bring him onto the playing field to get the final MVP with his first and only attack of the run.
It is kept secret, but there is a certain rite that all initiates to high office in the church must undergo. In this rite, one pledges to serve the goddess, and in return receives a crest stone fragment and blood. The ones who have transformed alongside Rhea just now are the ones who have accepted those gifts. They will shield Rhea, the Immaculate One, I should say, with their very lives. But if we do not strike her down, Fodlan will have no future. To arms! Surrounded already, it seems. Until we get rid of them, we will not be able to so much as touch Rhea.
First, Assassin Manuela lowers the drawbridge, opening up a direct path to Rhea. Then Fortress Knight Annette, can take Manuela's spot to stride basically the entire army. For my first attack against Rhea, I have Bow Knight Cyril break a barrier with a monster-effective Blessed Bow. Though, in the end, this doesn't actually matter, we just need Cyril to trigger a round of combat with Rhea.
This is me paying you back. No matter what, I'll stop Lady Rhea.
Stop! It is too dangerous to approach her now.
Because Cyril did break a barrier, we could have Happy start one-rounding now. However, after Rhea's second round of combat, she transforms into her second phase, which gets 4 full health bars, regardless if you beat any in her first phase. And if Happy one-rounded here, she could end up stealing the MVP for herself, so instead, I just use a Gambit to technically attack, but not face a counterattack.
Leave off! Rhea! Not even I have seen this form.
Upon transforming, Rhea also gets her barriers back. So to break one for real, I have Shamir use the Monster Blast combat arts.
Stay vigilant.
Alright, this time for real, we're set to go in. I have my Dancer Flame refresh Happy, since she deals the most damage, but I'm actually going to have Sedith attack first, since his personal skill, Guardian, provides plus 3 damage to adjacent female units. He doesn't quite one-round with the Brave Lance, but he can easily live 2 counterattacks, and with the Raphael Gem, he nullifies Rhea's massive 47 crits.
I will inherit the pride of Nabatea. Rest in peace by Sothis' side!
Now with Guardian set up, I have Catherine finish the first kill with a Thunderbrand. Her only chance of failure is if she gets hit and crit by this counterattack, giving her a 98% chance of success.
Lady Rhea, with my sword, I will put an end to your suffering. Is that all?
Because Catherine doesn't have Canto like Sedith and Happy, she ends up blocking the tile in front of Rhea's broken barrier. To get her out of the way, while keeping her in a Dance of the Goddess formation, I have Anna use Rescue. My Anna is well trained, but I only need 16 magic for 4 range, which any Rescue user can easily reach with Bishop's base of 15. Next, I have Happy go for her 1 round, with Guardian helping Happy keep up with Rhea's stronger second phase. With the Seraph Shield having monster damage, Happy is very likely to survive all of Rhea's counterattacks, and though Rhea's second health bar unlocks Miracle, it won't actually matter if she procs it here. So Rhea did get her Miracle proc, but now that she's at 1 HP, she can't proc it again, so we just need someone who can do 1 damage to finish the kill. I have Hanneman do the job, reaching with Meteor. We're halfway done with Rhea, but we've also exhausted all of our main attackers, so now's the perfect time for the Dance of the Goddess.
Thanks. Good idea.
On her 3rd health bar, Rhea's HP goes from 126 to 189. This means Happy isn't 1-rounding anymore, but she and Sedith can still team up for the kill while working around Miracle. With his current damage, Sedith can finish the kill Happy set up with just 3 attacks. So even if Rhea procs Miracle on the 3rd, Sedith would guarantee a kill on the 4th. Rhea's final health bar goes up to 199 HP. Thankfully, Flame can refresh Happy to attack once again, still handling well over half of Rhea's health.
I'll try.
With all the other 1-range attackers done, Catherine can go ahead and occupy the tile in front of Rhea, reaching lethal with Thunderbrand. If you've been keeping track, you'll know that this would be Catherine's 2nd kill, and Sedith and Hanneman have each only gotten 1 kill. At this rate, Catherine would get MVP, but we still have to consider that Rhea can proc Miracle, and Catherine needs all 4 attacks for lethal damage. And so, well, you might be able to see where this is going. With Rhea back at 1 HP, anyone with 36 attack can get the final kill, a value which even an untrained Ashe reaches. Defeating Rhea's 3rd health bar unlocks Vantage though, so I do need to trade over the Seraph Shield for Ashe to live a counterattack. With this kill, Ashe will end the map in a tie with the other 3 boss killers. This happened in Verdant Wind too. Ashe was in a tie for 2 kills with Claude, Petra, and Leonie. I'm not entirely sure why Ashe was prioritized there, but at least here I can infer that Rhea's final health bar is weighted higher than the others, making Ashe take priority as this clear's most valuable unit. Now for Silverstow's rankings, I'm going to give 3 stars for complexity, 4 stars for reliability, and 2 stars for Ashe action. This is by far the most basic endgame clear, but working around Miracle, a Swordmaster boss killer, and the Dance of the Goddess positioning was still pretty fun. I certainly could have had Ashe play a stronger role, but I was very amused to see his not-so-impressive kill put him on the final screen. No more funny business, though, as we move on to the much more intimidating Crimson Flower. Once again, we're up against Rhea, but in Crimson Flower, she starts much, much further away, with walls, flame terrain, and a few enemies impeding our path. This version doesn't have Miracle, but we still have to get enough attacks to defeat 4 huge health bars, despite half of the army starting 25 tiles away, and the other half a whole 35 tiles away. Crimson Flower also doesn't have access to a Dance to the Goddess battalion. Instead, we have Edelgard, who can repeatedly use the Raging Storm combat arts until Aimer breaks. This makes a one-turn possible, but focused almost entirely on Edelgard. By this playthrough, I was actively looking to complete my sets of endgame turn 1 Ashe MVPs, and I really had to engineer this clear around Ashe getting multiple kills without Edelgard stealing his spotlights. That said, I do need to rely on Edelgard a lot, so I supercharged her with 14 extra points of strength over her level 40 average. That could go down to 7 if I equipped her with Strength plus 2 and Axefair, but since she has the extra strength, I can afford to equip Darting Blow and Lancebreaker instead for a reliability boost. Likewise, I've set up Ashe with a ton of damage stacking, who is once again a sniper. He has 8 points of strength over his level 40 average, and I've equipped Strength plus 2, Death Blow, and Bowfair. I've also given him the Shoes of the Wind for +1 move. And literally everyone else is dedicated towards helping Edelgard and Ashe. Even with all this support, Ashe's success may seem uncertain, but I was determined to see the stream through to the end.
At last, we made it to Ferdiad.
We finally stand before the palace.
Those who stand in our way will perish with the flames. Immaculate One, your reign ends, here and now.
With fire raging all over the city, instead.
Indeed, and at their head.
The whole city's burning! Oh, this isn't good. I'm flammable, you know?
First,
What's my
Byleth sets up stride for the Rhea group in the west, using Kanto to move diagonal to Ashe and Edelgard, while Sylvain uses stride for the east. Now Ignatz can reach Edelgard for rally strength, speed, and dex, and Edelgard can reach Rhea after just 1 Raging Storm. However, both Ashe and my dancer Dorothea are going to need boosts to reach the top platform. I have 3 warpers, which means I can have one cross the gap with 1 massive warp, and the other with 2 medium warps. Lysithea, of course, will be the massive warp, using the March Ring to reach Ashe and Gremory, before trading the ring away to Byleth, and sending Ashe all the way to the top. For this 16 range warp, she needs significant magic, being 12 points over her average in my case.
Guess all that time wasn't wasted.
Manuela can then put Dorothea right below the first set of stairs, but first I have her take the March Ring from Byleth, so she can trade it to Edelgard. In the end, she only needs a 6 range warp, which she naturally reaches with Gremory's base of 17, Gremory's stat boost of 5, and magic plus 2. Linhardt will perform the final warp, but there weren't enough starting positions in the west for him, so I have Bernie as a Gremory rescue him closer from the east. For this 8 range rescue, Bernie also needs significant magic, being 7 over average. As a Holy Knight, Linhardt can now reach Dorothea, and with his average 7 range warp, place her right next to Ashe. With movement plus 1, he can also Kanto 1 tile east to provide a linked attack against the Golem, which isn't necessary but does make for a minor reliability boost. And now it's time for Edelgard to storm north. Normally, she could target one of the Paladins or Snipers for a Raging Storm opportunity, but she would OHKO them, and that kill would result in her taking MVP. So I instead just have her target the Golem, which she needs the March Ring to reach, and she needs to dodge the counterattack so they don't apply their Seal movement skill. She's getting 20 extra avoid from Thyrsus Linhardt's and Meteor Dorothea's linked attacks though, so I've managed to drop their hit to 38 for a 71% chance to dodge. Now refreshed, Edelgard can switch back to the March Ring and fly north to break one of Rhea's barriers with her second, monster-effective Raging Storm. She'll also need to dodge some of her attacks, but Rhea's hit is lower, and we still have Dorothea's linked attack, so at least Edelgard's survivability is pretty reliable going forward.
So it's true. You don't value human life at all.
Nonsense! You humans are the ones who betrayed.
I did not betray you or her. I never believed in you from the beginning.
And now we're all set to go in on Rhea. Edelgard has 3 Raging Storms plus 1 more attack left, and Dorothea will let Ashe attack twice, meaning we have 6 attacks for Rhea's 4 health bars. So 2 can take 2 attacks, but another 2 need to be 1-rounded. Fortunately, Edelgard and Ashe can reliably team up for any kill. Ashe can 1-round Rhea's first 2 health bars with a double crit, and Edelgard can Oko up through her 3rd health bar with a crit. So in the end, we only need 2 lucky rounds of combat, with plenty of flexibility for the attack sequencing. No crit yet, but that's okay. We'll just use 2 actions for the first health bar and 1-round the next 2 health bars. Edelgard only has 1 Raging Storm left, and I'll save that for Rhea's 3rd health bar and have Ashe 1-round the second. With the Killer Bow Plus, he has 67 crits, which gives him a 45% chance of success. Ashe could have more reliability with a crit ring, but after some trial and error, I discovered he actually needs the Experience Gem to get MVP over Edelgard at this point. So apparently, the game doesn't just check how many kills each unit gets, but something like how much total experience was their combat worth.
I see that the years have not cured humanity of its folly. You still wish to hurt and betray my mother and myself.
I cannot lose.
Now Edelgard needs to nail a 37% crit, but if this or anything else so far went wrong, I could always use a Divine Pulse, have Anna and Ferdinand burn some RNs back near the starting positions, and try again. Not that I'll need to though. Rhea's final health bar goes up to 199 HP, but we still have 2 actions left, so Ashe and Edelgard can team up for the kill. She's out of Raging Storm fuel, but she can use her last attack to hit even harder with the Brave Axe quad. If one of these attacks crits, then cool, but all she really needs to do is get one last dodge if she had been hit before. Lastly, I have Dorothea dance for Ashe so he can take the final kill, with a 90% chance to get just 1 of 2 crits. At this point, he's only gotten 1 kill, while Edelgard's gotten 2 kills and 3 rounds of filler combats. But with the Experience Gem, and by securing the final health bar, Ashe will have done just enough to technically outperform Edelgard in her conquest of Ferdiad.
Let's finish this!
There he is! For Crimson Flower, I'm going to give 4 stars for complexity, only 2 stars for reliability, but 4 stars for Ashe action. Edelgard was admittedly the fixture of the clear, but getting Sniper Ashe to both reach Rhea and get more experience than Edelgard was still a tough puzzle to solve. And next clear, he'll completely surpass Edelgard as we take her on in our final endgame. Azure Moon's final chapter has a similar layout to Crimson Flower, with one boss with 4 health bars that starts very far away from our army. In this case, Hegemon Edelgard is 28 tiles away from our closest units, with walls that you can't fly over, creating an even longer path, and a few enemies blocking choke points. We, of course, don't have Raging Storm, but Azure Moon not only gives you one Dance of the Goddess battalion, but 2. This means we can get a full set of units in range of Edelgard, distributing the kills so that Ashe gets the most. For the final clear, I've put Ashe in his dream class, Hero. I'll admit this makes the clear's movements even more of a challenge, but I knew it would make Ashe happy, what with his heroic aspirations. I've given him the Shoes of the Wind, and he has S+ Sword Swordfare, but this actually ended up being overkill, and his average strength is sufficient. My second boss killer is Caspar, as my one and only Wyvern Lord. For his part, he just needs average speed and a couple extra points of strength to hit really hard with a Brave Axe. My third boss killer is Sniper Dimitri, who will hit S+ bows for Bowfare during the map. I'll also have Byleth in the group to reach Edelgard, as a Holy Knight with a ton of charm from Tea Time. The last unit to be in the Edelgard group is my dancer, Hilda, who has movement +1. Everyone else then is just here to help these 5 units reach and defeat Edelgard. Alright, now let's finish this journey and let Ashe become the hero of Fodlan he was meant to be.
Edelgard must be in the throne room. I would love nothing more than to charge in and settle this once and for all.
Strange.
We cannot allow our grand ambition to be stopped by these beasts.
The core of my movement is stringing together 2 Dance of the Goddesses, but refreshing alone isn't enough to get my 3 boss killers, Byleth, Hilda, and the Dance of the Goddess users where they need to be. As such, some units will need some extra movement boosting, so after setting up Stride and Ignatius rallies for Ashe, we can look to some warps and rescues. First, I have Constance use a 7 range rescue on Ashe, so he can walk himself to the first Dance of the Goddess position, despite starting in the back. Then I have Happy and Lysithea warp Byleth and Dimitri just below Edelgard's room, so they can skip the first Dance of the Goddess entirely. For Happy to get Byleth past the statue, she needs an 11 range warp, for which she definitely needs a few extra points of magic.
I can hear voices from the lower levels.
Maybe if we take control of those stairwells now, we can prevent reinforcements.
Thanks, Ashe, but I'm just gonna warp Dimitri over the stairwells, with Lysithea needing a pretty standard 12 range to get him past the War Master. Alright, now we can start putting together the Dance of the Goddesses. As the second user, Annette is going to wait in the back of the first formation, cantoing there after setting up rally strength and speed for Caspar. She's in Dark Knight with movement +1, though Paladin could also work. Caspar then repositions Hilda, and cantos forward enough so that Hilda can dance for him while she takes the center stage. Then I have Ashe take one of the frontmost positions, trading the March Ring from Hilda, who took it from Annette, and using this opportunity to attack the War Master, blocking his continued path forward.
It was the only way.
You're making me look bad.
If Ashe didn't crit, then Caspar could get the kill here, but because Ashe did, I just moved Caspar into the other front position.
Ready when you are.
Then Ingrid can target them all with the first Dance of the Goddess, reaching as a paladin with movement +1.
Oh, nice.
Thank you.
Now we can look to the second Dance of the Goddess formation. Some enemies block the way at the central choke point, so I have Caspar defeat the Mortal Savant on his path north.
Who's next? Get in line.
Then for the sniper, I have Byleth One Round Thumb on his path north. Using something like Fire as a Dark Knight would require less stats, but for my Byleth, Holy Knight Nosferatu works just as well.
So, That grotesque creature was Edelgard. If she is prepared to transform her very body to fight for this future of hers, then I have no choice but to defeat her, even if it costs me my life.
It won't be in vain.
Like Caspar at the start of the map, Byleth doesn't canto into the Dance of the Goddess formation, as he can get refreshed by Hilda and save that spot for someone else.
Thank you.
I still have a long way to go.
As Dimitri and Ashe get into position, I need them to defeat the War Master and Bishop blocking the stairs in front of Edelgard. Like Rhea and Silver Snow, the Bishop has Miracle, but Dimitri leaves her at 1 HP with his first attack, so she has no chance of survival against the second.
It is done. Now, how best to use this skill?
I wield this power for His Highness.
This leaves the War Master to Ashe, and this time he can reach at 1 range and use the Cursed Aishia sword. With its massive 50 crit, his battalion's 15 crit, sword crit plus 10, and the critical ring, I'm able to get his crit up to 98, which then goes up to 100 with the Grounder Combat Arts plus 5, making for a perfectly reliable Oko.
It's my duty. I'm getting closer to my goals.
Well met.
Next, I have Byleth get out of the way and break Edelgard's barrier. She has monster effect null, so we can't just use, like, a blessed bow, but with Byleth's massive charm and a gambit boost from his adjutant, he still gets 100 hits with a Resonant Flames gambit to break her barrier in 1 hit.
Facing you, I grow weak.
It's time.
Annette can then take Byleth's place and use the second Dance of the Goddess, after dismounting to get past the stairs. This leaves us with 4 remaining actions between Ashe, Caspar, Dimitri, and Hilda, and Edelgard's 4 health bars are wide open to be 1-rounded.
Thanks for that.
I have Ashe take the first kill. Once again, he reaches 100 crits with the Cursed Aishia sword, taking Edelgard out so fast she will not even have a chance to counterattack.
I will take you out so fast you will not have a chance to lament.
I cannot lose.
Then Hilda dances for Ashe, setting up Advocate to give +3 damage to adjacent male allies.
You're too kind.
With that boost and Byleth and Dedu support, Dimitri is so strong that he can naturally 1-round Edelgard's second health bar with a Fail Not Haunter's Volley. Though if he gets a crit or crest proc to crush Edelgard even more, then I suppose that's only fitting.
To be changed beyond all recognition, I have no pity for one such as you. If that is the future you hoped for, then you deserve no compassion.
Caspar defeats Edelgard's 3rd health bar with a Brave Axe quad, with his personal skill, supports, and accuracy ring counteracting the avoid from Edelgard's throne to keep near perfect hits.
I'm not going down!
Fittingly, I give Ashe the honors of taking the final kill. A crits won't Oko her anymore, however, she has so little hits that we don't need to fear a counterattack, and can just double for 2 perfectly reliable crits. Alright Ashe, go ahead and claim your spot as the most valuable unit in all of Fodlan.
Let's finish this!
Edelgard, it is over.
For this final battle, I'm going to give 4 stars for complexity, 5 stars for reliability, and 5 stars for Ashe action. Not quite Verdant Wind here, but I still did a lot of planning for the multiple boss kills and mapping out the movement with multiple Dance of the Goddesses. So having it all work out was very exciting, and seeing Ashe strike down the towering hegemon Edelgard as a virtuous hero was a very endearing way to conclude this experience. And that concludes Ashe's arc of becoming MVP in a one-turn clear of every final map of 3 houses. Verdant Wind was definitely the most fun to plan for, Silver Snow was the funniest, Crimson Flower was the most tense for getting Ashe just the right amount of experience, and Azure Moon made Ashe look the coolest. Of course, they were all very exciting, as I got to see Ashe get all the endgame boss kills, even when all odds seemed stacked against him. And on top of this, I also got to have a lot of fun planning out each clear, and then playing a full run of every route while building up a cool team. It's actually been a whole 5 years since I started this project, so I'm glad I finally got to show the results, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I'd love to hear which route has your favorite final map in the comments, and if you did enjoy the video, consider leaving a like and subscribing to support the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.